while we were chatting in 3, 2, 1, and pills.
Right. And just to start off with, I like what Packy's working with. Um, Interesting ideas from Influx. He had the combos ready to go.
Mm.
This is Umbrella Strats all over again. I'm not sure what he's doing.
There was some swag on there. I think if I had to guess, he is gonna try to set up a move set that is gonna allow him to take out those reds horizontally towards the top. If I had to guess, and it looks like he is probably still planning to do that, but gets the nice horizontal there underneath. So looks like that T is setting up. Meanwhile, Packy has a very slim lead, much more straightforward path here. Nice board, good looking board at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, Packy definitely in a good position, although Influx still with a slight lead. As you can see, both their timers are set exactly the same, but Packy, I think, wanted to take those yellows horizontally, just wasn't getting the pills and decided to pull the trigger early. I think this is a good call, especially as if he gets another red yellow, he is going to be able to get this fat logged and
Hmm.
is going to end on that. So he's going to get a log out. He's going to be out just slightly ahead of Influx with a 127. Influx going to be out with a 131. And yeah, I am not surprised by either of those times.
I just had to take in a little bit of air because I saw Inflox's top line there. Looked like a very bad yellow staircase, but he's managed to take it down just a little bit. Still needs blue help, or actually doesn't need any blue, but needs help getting to his blue. But a nice combo down the right-hand side helps him open it up.
Yeah, and Influx is always at his best when he's having to play just a little bit off the cuff. One of his mantras is make bad moves quickly.
Mhm.
So, this
Oof.
wow, that was a really great play from him. But yeah, when he gets methodical is when I start worrying about his play because sometimes that can really slow him down. But so far it hasn't really done that, although he is facing a couple of virus deficit against Packy. But that drop there going to help get him to closing the gap.
And honestly, I really love Packy's moves right now. Notice that in rows 1 and 2, he has these great horizontal setups. If he gets a red yellow, he's going to have a nice offset, sort of offset fat log there. He's got options for the reds at rows 1 and 2 horizontally. It's looking really, really good. He's holding out for that for a while, and he's going to get it. Yeah. How?
Yeah, that's some great play, and that is going to put him out at a 305. But again, Influx not far behind is just a couple of pills, and he's out at a 310. So about a 5 second difference. And great starting set from Packy, who gets a really nice combo there and going to get a sweet tea right afterwards.
Mhm. And Influx starting this board 37 viruses left. Good drop down the side to clear out. You always want to try to clear out those sides pretty well. It's tough to have columns 1 and 2 both be red, but he's got some plans here. He's got some things that he can work with in the meantime, especially maybe building this blue horizontal to drop the red and yellow garbage. There it goes.
Yeah, not a lot of use for yellow. I think he might have thought that was a double yellow coming down. I know for just a second I had that same thought. You play this game long enough, and suddenly you become colorblind in slight ways. Yellow and blue start looking way too much like each other for no
Hmm.
apparent reason.
That is definitely what I feel. Now, Packy dropping a nice combo there. And ooh, I'm not sure if he wanted to go all the way there with that red blue, but it really doesn't matter. Later on in the level in that column 3, he'll probably be able to tuck down underneath. Yep, and not too much of a problem there.
And Packy just has a bit of struggle, but Influx's board is very floaty. You can see he's spired up on columns 1 and 8. He would love a double blue to knock out column 1 and do it in only much quicker, but ends up going ahead and pulling the trigger. He is sitting on a solid lead right now as he should be out just a touch past the 5 minute mark. It's going to be 5 minutes and two. Packing not far behind, but is struggling. And oh man, didn't see that double blue in his next box. And this is going to take him a little bit of time to get through. Makes the good
Mhm.
call, goes ahead and sets that red yellow up. He's out at a 521.
Yeah, I think that some of the plans that Packie had towards that end game, they were getting a little bit fancy, and sometimes when you try to make really good setups on setups, you sort of lose sight of that. Wasn't sure what was going on there, and Influx is already 20 viruses ahead, which is just not something you often see against a player like Packie. So this is pretty intense play. We're gonna see a sub 7 time for sure here.
Yeah, and that double blue that Influx got was absolutely everything he wanted as it set him up for a sweet tea. For a second, he didn't see it, hesitated for just a second, then realized that it was there. Probably had it in the back of his mind that that was the pill he was looking for, and didn't see it at first, and then went, "Oh yeah, this is why I was looking for that." But it's so far so good for Influx. For Packy, he is now 24. Yeah, still 20 viruses behind. As Influx gets exactly what he needs to be out at a 626, and that's going to be it. I again forgot which level block we were in.
Yeah, and 626, that is, at least as of right now, that is the number 6 hot time, so very, very impressive. And yeah, Pachy with 15 viruses left to go, and that board is really tough. It's a lot of red and blue, so unless he got the right blitz, that was gonna be really challenging.
It's actually now the number 7 hot time because the number 6 hot time got tied in our last game. Wonder
Oh.
who did that.
Oh, yes! Whoops. Yeah, mhm. Forgot about that already. My mind
It's
is a white,
okay.
hot haze of stress. Okay.
It's okay. You know, you all you
Yeah.
did was set a new PB. That's all.
Yeah,
Um,
that was fun.
yeah, Packy frustrated, but is intent on seeing this level out. I can't say I blame him there for that, as you know, you don't let this one beat you down. But definitely frustrated with where it is out at a 735. So GG's to Pack.
Mhm. And my prediction came true. So now the guys just have to make sure that yours does.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We expect it.
We have a ready from Packy and a ready from Influx.
Packy, of course, fresh off that best of NES 0 to 20 run last night, as we've got a 3, 2, 1, and pills.
Bills.
All right, good usable first pills for both players. That's always nice to see. It's always
Yeah,
terrible when you don't get a use for that first pill.
that feels that does feel really bad. And sometimes I am a prone resetter. I will just often hit the reset button if I have a bad first pill, but I would know I shouldn't do that. Um, Both have really good starts to this board. They're really even. At first, I was a little bit worried about Packy's board because of the shapes of it and how much red was up there, but now they're pretty much neck and neck here.
Yeah, and I think yeah, Packy gonna find a way to just swim that over, tuck it a little bit, and he's finding a use for everything, which yeah, it's easy enough to say, but it's definitely something that takes some practice
Hmm.
and
And
something he's really good at.
y- yeah, Influx with 16 viruses left is making good setups towards the bottom of this board. You can see that he's being very deliberate about the layers that he's setting up. And that's looking really good. So notice this nice drop in column 7 and 8. Everything is really, really open. And Packy's got good moves as well too. You notice this horizontal there at the bottom of the board. So he's just going to have to keep getting these setups, hope that he keeps getting red, but notice the one on the bottom is already open.
Yeah, on Influx's side, he was down to his last red some time ago and very smartly used everything else. Oh, we see a pause buffer from Influx there. Uh, so yeah, he was making sure that he had everything kind of working out in just the right time. Didn't end up taking that red out until much later than most players would, but that's an early tuck there. It didn't cause him too much trouble, but it cost him one extra virus or one extra pill. So running a little bit slower than he could be, but not too much.
Yeah, Packy was out at a 158, and you could tell from his body language that he was really, really not happy about that. You did see a couple of fluttery inputs, and it looked like that was maybe due to a controller issue because he just had a couple of double taps and things like that that we don't often see from him. But yeah, he is now about 17 viruses back from Influx, and he was much closer in the last game. So he's sort of running there. Beautiful combo down the left hand side, columns 1 and 2, just taking half of that board off. That's what we need to see, Pack.
Yeah, and it's down to within 10, and that's striking distance for Packy. Especially in level 9 of an 8 to 11. You know, this is still very early in the block. But yeah, if he's having controller issues, that's something you're going to have to look out for. Um, Even if it's not actual, like, real issues, even if you think there's an issue going on, it can do that does a lot of mental damage. And I've been there, and it sucks. It really does.
And meanwhile, Influx out of level 9 and into his level 10. A lot of blue and yellow on the top line that he's trying to chisel away at. I was wondering if he was going to leave that blue horizontal possibility open at the top, but the other pills showing up just didn't make it really worth it. And let's see what Packy's
Oh.
setting up there. Beautiful. Drop into a horizontal. Just needs one more piece of red, and he's out.
Yeah, that double yellow was a sigh of relief for Packy, as that was literally the one pill that could have made that whole combo drop easily. And Influx now staring down the top of this board. There's not a lot of access to yellow, so that's going to slow him down a bit. But he's got a 19 virus advantage, so it's about the same as what we saw in the last game. And you got to think that he's got to be feeling fairly good about where he is right now.
Mm-hmm. I really like this horizontal tuck there from Influx to clear out some of the center of that board. And he is one of the few players
Big
that can
swing.
do a really big swim on high speed, and those just look so effortless, and they're really, really not. So very impressive. And Packy here setting up a drop T with those blues in column 3. It's gonna happen, and gets another vertical to boot and another one. That was an amazing combo.
And look at this that Influx is setting up. That's going to drop down twice. Not going to get exact immediately into the blues, but he is now free and clear on all of his viruses, as this blue can be undercleared. Both yellow or both reds on the left hand side. You got to think he's hoping for a double red. Looks like he's not going to get one in time, but uh, gets everything that he needs to knock this out in a 509.
Mhm. And let's see, Packy's got 10 viruses here left to go. You can see he's got a horizontal setup with that red there, and drop down some garbage on top of column 3, which might be a little bit difficult to navigate. You see him taking it out uh, in a different way. Could possibly be setting up for two
Oh,
horizontals, but that blue yellow in columns 3 and 4 is definitely a misdrop.
yeah, and that's probably going to be the lethal misdrop here, as it's going to be really hard to come back from that, as he's still got garbage to take care of just to get down to this blue. And Influx already 28 viruses down. We'll see where he is when Packy gets out of his board. 606. Yeah, 25 viruses at that point to 48 for Packy. So yeah, it's not impossible, but it is going to be tough for Packy to come back for this one.
Mhm. Meanwhile, Influx 16, 14 viruses left to go. His board is a little bit spired. You see him taking down column 3, and he's not really too worried about drop time right now because you can see in row 2, he's got a horizontal possibility there. For those blues, he'd love a double blue. And I'm wondering if he is going to be patient enough for that to come. And, double blue is not the most common that we can see, so that could be a very long wait. He abandons it for now, but yeah, there he goes. He gets the drop and
And I think
horizontals
this
all
is
the
the right
way.
setup. I think this is
Yeah.
definitely the right setup for him. A red yellow would be great.
Oh,
Oh,
doesn't
decides
take
to
it.
use it on the, yeah, I was expecting on the other side. Um, but this double red's going to be it. And with a 713, GG's to Influx, who is going on to our semifinal Sunday tomorrow, where he will play,
Hmm.
well, Savage Octagon.
Oof.
So that is going to be a yeah, tough draw for you, my friend. But yeah, it was going to be a tough draw no matter who won this one.
Yeah, yeah. So that is gonna be challenging, but GG's to both players here. Packy finishing it out, and he is gonna be waiting here. Just one more red, and he is out at a 752. So with 2 wins, Influx does move on to those semis, and congratulations to both players.